Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. We had a comment, a message really from a subscriber, and he's at that point of deciding that he's going to start living his own life. And what struck me about his message that was so heartfelt, I thought, was he said, "I've been living my life for other people all my life. All my life I've been living for other people, and now it's time for me." And boy, that is a huge recognition of anybody's situation, to actually realize that all of their life, this is a very sobering thought, isn't it? All his life he's been living for somebody else. So now he's decided, now it's time for me. Is everybody happy with that? I don't think so. This is a problem with starting to take control of your own life, is that people generally are not always going to be happy with the change. They're not going to just accept it. Hey Dad, glad you're happy, get on with it. No, that's not going to happen. Now, how do you come to a decision like that, which is a huge decision in my mind? How do you do it? Well, what you have to do is you have to work out who you are. Now, this has been a huge spiritual journey. There are so many books written about this that they're impossible. They're numerous. You know, the path less trod. They're all there. All of those are there. But how do you do that? Well, everybody has internal conversations that are going on constantly, and in those internal conversations they constantly repeat things which are limiting to them. How do they do that? Well, they hear the voices of the people that have opposed what they want to do. So no, they're not living their own life, they're living for other people. Not only are they living for other people, but they're repeating in their head all of the things that will hold them back. Now, I met someone once who proceeded to tell me about her marriage that had gone terribly wrong and ended in divorce. And she told me all about that relationship before I actually stopped her. And this was the content of what she said. She told me everything that man had used to put her down. Well, he said this about me, and he said that about me, and he said that I was no good at this, and I was no good at that. And in the end I said to her, can you just hold on for a second? Whose voice is this that you are repeating to me? Well, this is all the kind of things that he said to me. This is fact, you know. I mean, I'm only telling you the truth, she told me. Well, sorry, but you're not telling me the truth. You're telling me what he put you down with. Now, why do we do that? Well, the fact is that we emulate those people who we perceive are more powerful than us. And this is a natural thing that we do. Now, why do we do that? Because we perceive they are more powerful than us. And the reason that you perceive that is because they put you down. Well, if they put you down, they must be more powerful than you. That's the computation. Well, what you have to do is realize that in among all of those voices that are in your head, your mama, your papa, your uncle, your aunt, your brother, your sister, and Uncle Tom Cobley and all. And you have to realize that these are the voices of other people. They're not you. So how do you work out who is you? This has been the huge issue of, I want to find out who I am. How many times have you heard that? I want to find out who I am. This is a very worthy cause, finding out who you are, but how the hell do you do it? Well, here's what I think you do. This is what I did. I listen to all those voices, all that babble that's going on in my head, and I'm not a nutcase and I'm not schizophrenic. And all of those things where people have done some terrible mass murder and then say, I heard voices of God telling me to... Never mind all of that. We're talking about ordinary people, you and me. How do you work it out? How do you stop the babble? That was always one of my major goals when I started on my search, was how do you stop this constant babble? You have to find out who you are and reinstate yourself as the one. You are the one. When you close your eyes and sleep, who is in there? Well, you are, and only you. But you have some guests. And those guests are, depending on what your childhood was, and what your life has been, and your life expectancies, and your life experiences, they are the people who have created the biggest effect on you. Mommy and daddy, uncle, auntie, big sister, small brother, all of these people are still in there with you. So, one of the ways of doing it is by elimination. This is what I did. I worked out who's not me. Well, I'm not my mother. I'm not my father. I'm not my uncle or my auntie or my brother or my sister or that jerk who used to put me down at school, and I'm not any of those things. I'm not any of those people that I've had relationships with and failed and made mistakes. God help me, I'm not perfect, and I suspect that neither are you. So, you need to work out who you are. Once I wrote a little note which I posted on Facebook, and I said, I spoke to God this morning and I asked him, could I be perfect? And God said, no problem, you can be perfect, but perfect is on back order, so you might have to wait a while. Meantime, I suggest you start being nice to people. So that got a big response and must have resonated with quite a few people. How do you decide who you are? That's the problem. You take the voices one at a time and you listen to what they've got to say, and you realize that it's not you that's talking. You are listening to a conversation that belongs in the past and doesn't belong in your life. So you take them one at a time, Mama and Papa and all of the rest, and you say, this is not me. Once you realize who is not you, whoever's left is you. Now, after you've been beaten up by all of these people, you have to start working on yourself. Are you what they said? No, you're not. You're not what they said. Did you make mistakes? God, yes. If you're anything like me, I made every mistake in the book. I've messed up every life I've ever had in every situation that I was ever in. I've made enormous conversation. I've done all of the wrong things. Does that mean that I'm the bad person that any one of the recipients of that experience said I am? No, I'm not. I've learned. I've progressed. If you were to meet up with a friend from 20 years ago who hasn't seen you and had any contact with you, and you met up with him today, for him, for her, you would be the same person. But you're not. You've moved on. You've learned from all of those experiences, good, bad and ugly, and you've moved on. In spite of every voice that's in your head, you have learned. You have to give yourself credit for this. And if you don't give yourself credit, believe me, no one else will. There are few people in our lives that step up and say, you're a good guy. You have to take that and seize it for yourself. I keep saying about that the little story about the big guy and the small guy, and they're out working together, and they are working for this woman. The big guy is Manny, and the little guy is David. And when they take a break, the woman comes out and she brings out a plate. She brings out 2 cups of coffee, and she brings out a plate, one plate with 2 pieces of cake on it. One is a large piece of cake and the other is a small piece of cake. And Manny, the big guy, the gentle giant, says, "David, after you." David leaps in there and takes the big piece of cake. Manny's very disturbed by that. He's got an inner sense of fairness, and he says, "David, I don't understand you. I let you go first. There's a big piece of cake and a small piece of cake, and I let you go first. And of course you take the big piece of cake." And David said, "Which piece of cake would you have taken?" And Manny said, "I would have taken the small piece of cake." And David says, "So, you're going to take the small piece of cake, or are you going to take the big piece of cake?" Well, that depends on what you think you deserve. Now, how do we judge what we deserve? We look around and see what we have. What kind of life do you have right now? Is it a deserving life, or is it one where you don't have the money for the gas bill, the electricity bill, your car is broken down and you're walking, you can't get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, nobody seems to like you? That's what you deserve. Sorry, that's a bitter pill, but that's what you deserve. How do I know that? It's what you've got. It's really simple. If you want to know what you think you deserve, inside, in your heart of hearts, look at what you've got. The life that you have got is what you have decided. And what is that based on? Let's get to the next bit. It's based on your self-esteem. And what is your self-esteem based on? For most people, self-esteem is like an open wound. They don't think that they deserve very much at all. Well, your self-esteem, it's very simple. You have an inner voice, the one that's really you, and that inner voice, an inner sense of awareness, is watching what you do. Now, if you're behaving badly, if you're treating badly, if you are not helping people that you could help, if you are not leading a productive life, then your inner sense of awareness is watching. It takes into account all that you do, and then it self-grades you, your sense of personal worth. And that is what you need to attend to. If you've got a low self-worth, then it's because of how you've been behaving. So here's what you do. You caused that, so that means that you can change it. How do you change it? Sort the voices out. Throw the guests out till it's just you in there, till you go to bed at night knowing that you're listening to your own accounts of what the day has been. Look at the life that you have and take and create the life that you want. And you will do this by being what you perceive is a worthy member of the society in which you live. Will I decide what your self-worth is? No. If I tell you you're a great guy, will that have an effect? Momentarily, yes. But in the end, it's what you have been doing. And what you have been doing gives you your sense of self-worth. So, clean up your act. Get things together. Start believing that life can be better. And that's a first step. You just start believing that life can be better. Like the man who suddenly decided, wait a minute, I've been living my life for everyone else. Now I'm going to lead my life for me. Will he be leaving a lot of people behind? I think so. Because people have gotten used to the way that you behave according to your self-worth. And they don't want you to change because they're comfortable. They know how you will behave in any given situation. So they're very happy with that. You're predictable. Now you're suddenly going to say, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to have an adventure. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to try new things. No, you can't do that, Dad, Uncle, Auntie. No, you can't do that because we're used to how you are a coward. I don't know whether that's true for you, but you'll decide that it is. But people will not welcome change. They're used to how you are, and it will take a little courage to break out of that and start living your life for you. So to that man who wrote to me, I meant to try to find his post so I could tell you about him. It was a great message. Here's someone who has finally said, wait a minute, there are more people in the world than I've been serving. Now it's my time. Those were his words. Now it's my time. I say good on you. I say well done. I say you are an inspiration to people who matter. You will meet new people. You will make new friends. New people will step up and love you. And the people that you leave behind will only be the people that were holding you back, that were stopping you from having the life that you wanted. So, get up and go. And the message is the same for everyone. Whether you're coming to marry a Filipina, whether you're going to marry someone from Puerto Rico, whether you're going to stay single, you're going to lead the life that you want to lead. What's so bad about that? And if people don't like that, well, sorry, things are going to change. But they'll only change if you start right here. That's the message. You start right here. Lead your life as you want to lead it. But lead it with a sense of integrity, with a sense of truth and loyalty and honesty. And if you proceed with those as your landmarks, as your anchor points, then how can you go wrong? Because you're going to lead a better life. You're going to have that inner awareness looking at a better you. And in as much as it may be very critical of the bad you, it will be delighted with the good you. So, go for it. Keep in touch. Tell me how it went. I love a good story. I love a happy ending. I love a happy continuing life. People who have met new partners, and in spite of everything, all of what we've discussed in other videos about acceptance from family, in spite of all of the disapproval, they've gone on and had a happy life. And they're having a happy life. And they're saying, it was tough, but we did it, and boy, we are glad. So, that's my thought for today. Well, more than one thought. I hope it helps.
Yeah.
Honey, somebody told me that the videos are always better when you do the ending.
Yeah. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you and God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye.